grateful that the title sponsor of KBIS Next Stage is Ferguson Home, which, I don't know if you've been hearing the news, people have been chatting about it. Yay, big ups to Ferguson that has a new name with home in the title. They made a big announcement yesterday that they're integrating and sort of unifying the whole brand. So to tell you more about that and to introduce the next panel, which, hint, hint, is actually me and a great guy, is Amber Peterson, Design Manager of Ferguson Home. So let's give it up for Amber as she comes to the stage. Hi, Amber, and congrats, and I leave it in your hands.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next stage today. We are here to talk about selective luxury and the art of intentional design. And our segment today is sponsored by Ferguson Home. So we're going to play a quick video for all of you to watch. So go ahead and cue the video, please.
Whether you're a homeowner creating your dream space or a pro managing multiple projects, discover a new way to shop at Ferguson Home, where great ideas become stunning spaces. Ferguson Home is designed for the way you want to shop. Explore the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting products online, or experience items firsthand in one of our showrooms. Our experts offer personalized support every step of the way. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. Shop top brands or find your local showroom at fergusonhome.com.
So we are very happy today to be sponsored by Ferguson Home. This was a huge labor of love for our company, so we're very excited to have that for us today. And I also want us to welcome my panelists and moderator. We have Tanya Nyack and Andrea Lilo.
Good morning.
Morning. Can I grab my book?
Awesome. Thank God, Andrew.
Oh, they said, no,
Yep.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, how is everyone today? Thanks for getting up and putting your pants on, getting your coffee and all that and coming to join us today. We're going to have some fun.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know you have a very busy day ahead, and we appreciate you starting your day off with us. And we're all starting it sitting down, so that's not a bad way to go, for sure.
With the 20,000 miles that we walked yesterday?
Yes.
My feet are still angry.
Yes.
So the panel is about selective luxury, the art of intentional design. And my name is Andrea Lillo. I'm the editor of Designers Today, which is an online and print brand for the professional interior designer. And I'm very excited to be moderating this conversation with two amazing panelists. So first we have Tanya Nyack. And you may recognize her from her appearances on HGTV, the Food Network, and ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. She's also a recognized name in the world of television, but also has a successful award-winning design firm based in Boston, where they specialize in hospitality, high-end residential, and marketplaces. And we're excited to get her take on selective luxury. And we also have Amber Peterson.
Hi, everyone.
Who is the Facilities Design Manager of Ferguson Enterprises. And Amber is a design professional with a passion for retail design, dedicated to creating engaging and inspirational environments. As the Facilities Design Manager at Ferguson, she has the exciting opportunity to develop fresh ideas that enhance Ferguson showrooms and ensure brand consistency across all 250 locations nationwide. So we're so happy. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to us today about selective luxury. So since we only have half an hour, I'm going to kick it off. How would you even define selective luxury? Especially, how does it differ from your traditional luxury in residential bathroom and kitchen design? Tanya?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. And listen, I'm not going to lie. When we first started talking about this subject, I was like, selective luxury, okay, what does that mean? Like, what actually does selective luxury mean? So I thought I would throw that question out to my team, my designers on my team, and I asked them, hey guys, what do you think selective luxury is to you? And there was a pause, like a really long pause, and I thought, okay, let me simplify this for you. What is luxury to you? Does luxury mean I'm going on a grand vacation on a yacht? Or does luxury mean I want simple, quiet, peaceful zen? What is luxury? And so that provoked this really interesting conversation amongst my team of really listening to your clients and understanding what luxury means to them. And what we realized is it's a different answer for everybody.
Yep.
It's a different answer for every age group. I think if you ask someone in their 20s and 30s, they're going to say the luxury yacht. You ask someone in their 30s and 40s, they're going to say, a speakeasy bar. You ask somebody, in their 50s and 60s, and it's going to be quiet, calm, relaxing space, or not, whatever. I'm just generalizing here, but it is different for everybody. So when we hone in on what selective luxury is, it's like layers, right? So we have the big picture is what's luxury to that person. And let's hone in on what selective luxury is and how we can customize our spaces utilizing the knowledge that we have in design, which basically we're the experts. So we're going to present to our clients a tailor-fit, bespoke space just for them. And how are we going to do that? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Wonderful.
Yes, in my opinion on selective luxury, it's really about curating an environment that really elevates your daily life. So when you think of traditional luxury, it's about opulence, it's about this grand EOS design. But for selective luxury, the luxury is really in the details. And we cater those details specifically to the client's needs, what their wants are, some of their passions, and really tie their personality into the space.
Wonderful, both great things. We were talking about selective luxury, and I thought about, I live in New York City, and so for me, having an apartment washer dryer would be, people don't think of that as selective luxury, but for me it would, because I don't have that. So
yeah.
It's about how you define selective luxury. So I was wondering if you can talk about, do you have any examples of how clients are prioritizing what luxury means to them, whether it's brand prestige or comfort or style?
Yes. And so again, tailor fit to each and every individual. Like what you're seeing on the screen, these are clients of mine that have a 1,000 square foot condo overlooking Central Park in Manhattan. And as you just said, luxury to you is a washer dryer. Luxury for them, they have a few different houses. They spend most of their time in LA, but when they come to New York, where the hell are they putting their suitcases? There's no space, right? So a luxury for them would be having a custom designed cabinet, and we have that, perfect timing, in this bedroom. The two cabinets that are under the window are designed specifically to fit their luggage underneath. In the middle space, it's a desk because sometimes they're gonna work there. So is this opulent and over the top? No. It's very calm, it's very serene, it's very quiet, but in the other spaces that you were looking at, it was black walls, gold. They wanted that excitement because they entertain a lot, but they wanted a retreat when they get to the bedroom. So listening to what they want is really important. Another thing that I think is important with selective luxury is customization and trying to figure out, we're so lucky we're in a time frame right now where we can customize our hardware, we can customize our appliances, we can customize our artwork, our wallpaper. There's so many things, our carpet design. So creating customization for your client, to me, is quintessential selective luxury.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And I love the interior designers I talk to. The customization is really the way that they even distinguish themselves from other design firms. So I think you can really personalize it to the client for sure. So, Amber, what's your take?
So, when we talk with our clients, I'm really starting to notice there is that level of brand prestige. They obviously want products that they know are going to stand the test of time, but we're really seeing that push for comfort and personal style. And after talking with them, it's a lot of the simple things. So like thinking of having a hot cup of coffee during a really slow morning, having a long soak after a long days of work, enjoying a home-cooked meal with your family, simple things like that. So selective luxury is really about elevating those experiences within the home.
Wonderful. So Tanya, I was wondering, can you talk about what are some of the current design trends that align with the ethos of understated, conscious luxury?
Yes. It's so funny, we were just walking, and Bonnie right here sitting in the front, we were just talking about trends and how we don't like that word. I don't love the word trends, but it is, what's popular and what people are sort of driven to.
Right.
So let's talk about that, right? We're seeing this whole world of color drenching, the big, the big buzzword where it's floor to ceiling, all the same color, which I think is absolutely beautiful, and how you do it is interesting. So I think that one of the trends is not just paint, but it's appliances. We're able to get appliances and color drench our kitchen, which is fun and exciting. You know, there's just so many different ways that we can customize our spaces. And I know, you know, with Pulp Designs, you guys were talking about, by the way, love you guys. Really. Their designs are insane.
Amazing.
But we were talking about, yesterday you guys were up here talking about the customization of wall coverings and all of these things that really create such a unique space. And one of the things that I really loved about what you said yesterday was when you were doing the Kips Bay house and you created a character in your brain of who you were designing for, and it was this powerhouse woman, she's got kids, but she just needed her boudoir to escape to. And to me, that is just so perfectly the topic of what we're talking about today, because that you really designed that space for that client, you know, and because you had carte blanche, you could do whatever you want because it wasn't really a real client. I think that there's something so special about people accepting that they can go big and they can go wild or they can go calm. I do a lot of hospitality design. This image right here, so
That's cool.
That's my husband and I own restaurants in Boston, and I had the muralist painting Frida Kahlo, and I think she has a Chihuahua. So he was messaging me photos of the mural, and he hadn't painted the dog yet. And I'm like, wait. I said, you didn't paint the dog? He's like, no, I texted him a photo of my dog. I'm like, put my English bulldog in there in Frida Kahlo's arms. Because to me, I'm like, this is my luxury. You know, this is our restaurant. It's my design. That's my baby. So I would like him to be in the mural. And that ultimately the biggest outcome of selective luxury is what sparks joy. Does it bring you joy? And if it brings you joy, then plain and simple, that's luxury.
Right. When you walk into your home at the end of a long day, are you filled with happiness and you want calmness, or are you, stressed out?
Right, right.
That makes a lot of sense. So at the show, I'm seeing a lot of items that address small space living. And being in New York City, I'm like, that's always on my radar. So Amber, I was wondering if you could talk a little about how do you integrate luxury into small space living without sacrificing functionality or the client's style?
I think just really focusing on each area of your home, the dedicated spaces. And with these smaller spaces, I think you could do very little to make a huge impact. So when I think small spaces, I think of your powder bath, I think of your entryway, your closet. And just in those little areas, you could show so much of the client's personality. Maybe it's you're changing out the flooring. Maybe you have a statement light right when you walk in. You have a statement sink in your powder bath. So you're really able to show who you are in these small spaces without really messing with the functionality of the space.
Wonderful, thank you. Tanya, how do you guide clients to identify what luxury means to them and translate that into their design choices?
Well, I have so many answers for this question. So let's start off with, let's just walk through their life, a day in the life, and understand, number one, functionality and how they live in their space. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I think that's always really important for whatever we're designing for our clients. But secondly, if we're talking about luxury, we want to take it beyond our mundane, everyday life. So what is it that they dream about? What's exciting for them? What's the best vacation they went on? What is the best restaurant they ate at? And let's pull things from that and see if we can incorporate it into their home. A lot of people have a lot of difficulty identifying their style for clients. And I love to just open up their closet and look at their clothes. And let's talk about your favorite wardrobe. What is it that you wear or gravitate towards all the time? Bonnie up here in the front, she loves pattern, she loves bold color, and I bet your house reflects that, right? I am a very neutral person, and I tend to like a little bling bling, but I love monochromatic, simple, quiet, but a little pop of energy and excitement. So I feel like anybody that could actually look at what they're wearing on a regular day-to-day basis can identify very much so what they would be comfortable with in their homes. But the exciting part for us as designers is that we get to exaggerate that a little bit more. Yeah. So we can look and understand who they are, what they're about, but do it in a way that they probably can't wrap their head around how to do that. So I would encourage my clients to think about those things. If we're going for selective luxury, what's important to you? Are you somebody that loves to cook? So if you are, let's make the most badass kitchen that is like completely your personality in every way, top to bottom, from function to design to color to the bells and whistles of your faucets and your fixture. Throw a big ass chandelier in there. It's like, just have fun. It's like, the sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you really kind of push them, I mean, they know their style, but you get to push them a little bit to even explore what they haven't even dreamed of, right? That's your job. Yeah.
Yep. We were talking about trusting your designer yesterday, and I that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of clients, you know you have the right client when they really do trust you, but we as designers also have to learn that we have to trust ourselves, because I think sometimes we're looking for validation from them, so we're giving them too many options. And sometimes we're saying, okay, well, here's 4 options. Which one do you like? How about we don't do that? Like, how about we show them a beautiful design and see how they react,
right,
without it being too many choices.
Right, that's a great tip. And I was curious too, like, how do you onboard clients? Are you giving them a questionnaire that they have to fill out, or are you having a conversation with them?
Yeah, I think it's like dating, right? You have to build a relationship, and you have to trust each other and enjoy each other. It should be an enjoyable process, but we all know it's so personal.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is why I do a lot of hospitality, because sometimes it's like, let's get this done, and I get to have fun with it and play with it. But when I have my residential clients, I think that I'm very lucky that I'm able to do both. So I'm very particular. Just as much as they're going to be particular with who they're going to work with, I also want to be particular with who I'm going to work with. And sometimes that can be hard, because we all got to make a buck, right?
Yeah.
We all need to work and keep busy. But it is not worth it when you can see the red flags early on. And, I think we all probably know those red flags. So.
Yeah, admit those red flags and just cut it short before it really develops into something. Yeah.
Yep, you're doing everybody a favor.
Yeah,
Everyone
absolutely.
a favor.
So this next question is for both of you. What role does storytelling play in creating a design that feels intentional and deeply personal to the homeowner? Amber, do you want to start this time?
Yeah, so I have a very interesting background where I'm more in retail, and my career has been focused on, highlighting product in these retail spaces. So for me, I think there's an opportunity with the products that you put in your home for that opportunity for storytelling. You might have a range that we were talking about earlier, standing the test of time. You have a range that has been with you for 20 to 30 years. There's a story behind that. There's memories with that. Products that patina, that age, you have that ability to speak to. This is what it looked like when I first moved in. It has evolved into what it is today. So I think there's this amazing ability for storytelling with that, but also do you share values with the company that manufactured the product? Is there history with that company that you could also share with people coming into your home? I think that's also a very fun way of talking about your space and really being able to give history on you and your products that you have in your home.
And if you had anything to share?
Yeah, with storytelling, it's one of my favorite things. I love storytelling, and I live a double life. I host these shows on ABC, one of them being The Great Christmas Light Fight. And as a judge, I go to see these amazing Christmas displays all around the country. It's the most fun job in the world. And one of the things that always connects for me as a judge on the show is the story. And I feel like design comes a lot, it flows a lot easier when there's a story to tell. This image right here. So this client, they inherited the condo. Their mom lived there before, and mom was a big lover of books, loved to read, had all of the, imagine in a small New York City place having that many books, and they just couldn't part with it. So we decided to build up these bookshelves and just make that the backdrop. Are they ever going to read those books? No, but it tells a story. It holds on to their memories of mom, and it's so important to them that that space doesn't let go of that soul and that integrity. So I feel like storytelling is such an important part of design.
Oh, 100%. And interior designers always say if manufacturers give them a story to tell, it helps them sell the product too.
Yeah.
And I think homeowners, well, everyone wants to know the history or just a story behind a product or a design. I think that really helps.
Well, and you think about even if you're throwing a party, if you like to entertain, and you're thinking about the menu, and you're thinking about the decor, and you're thinking about the music, if you just simply said, I'm going to do Mediterranean tonight, you've got the music selected, you've got the food selected, you've got maybe everyone's wearing white that day,
right.
Whatever it is. But it just immediately, it clicks and everything kind of falls into place. So this is why I'm such a big proponent of storytelling.
Right, and it makes everyone's life easier. Mm-hmm. Okay, for Amber, I was curious, how do you see the concept of luxury evolving over the next decade, and what impact will have on the industry as a whole?
Well, as Tanya was saying earlier, it's all about customization and personalization. So you're really starting to see that with a lot of the products that are coming out. But also there's this huge emphasis on wellness. There's this emphasis on healing at home. And I think for our industry specifically, we're going to see this huge push with all the technologies that are coming out. Like, raise your hand if you got to go to the Kohler booth and see the ice bath, the sauna, all of those things. We're now being able to really have a spa retreat at our house, which is phenomenal. And I think we're really gonna start to see that that's part of everyone's home moving forward. And we're gonna continue to see amazing products coming out. And that's just what I feel is gonna be really hot over the next several years. We've seen it the last couple of years, and we're just gonna continue to see that being pushed forward.
Yeah, that whole evolution is really just,
yes.
It's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
So cool.
So I have one more question, but after that, we're going to throw it to the audience. So if you have any questions, get ready, and we'll ask you in a few minutes. So last question, Tanya, what advice would you give to emerging designers looking to embrace selective luxury in their products?
Do we have any emerging designers in this audience? Anyone that's kind of in this industry less than 5 years? Okay, great. So the one thing I will say is that for an emerging designer, what gets really exciting is showcasing your talent. You get so pumped because you have a great idea and you really know it's exactly what that client wants, you think, right? And you're excited to put that out there for them. And I think the big thing I can say for an emerging designer is to just really listen and to hear what they're saying. Because as excited as we are, and we know in our hearts this is exactly what they need, it's exactly what they're gonna love it when it's done, and the truth is they probably would, but it's a relationship, and there's sometimes compromise in that relationship. So just hearing them, give a little, take a little, build their trust so that eventually once you get their trust, they'll let you do a lot more and be more creative. So I think that for an emerging designer, when it comes to selective luxury, it's important to understand their needs. It's important to understand what they're looking for. And it's important, more than anything, to build that trust.
Absolutely. And what a place to be inspired by selective luxury. Like, this is the place to kind of really absorb the industry, for sure. So do we have any questions in the audience? We do have a mic. Oh, we have one question. Where's our
I don't know where the mic people...
Our mic person.
Do we have anyone with a mic around?
I know, she was here.
Well, go ahead, tell it out. So, great, no mic, and you have an accent.
That's a question. Yeah. But we have a mic coming.
Oh, we have a mic coming.
I think you said, are we seeing any trends coming in from the UK and Europe? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just how much influence is there a trend? I know you don't like the word trend, but is that coming more to America?
I always think the trends typically start from overseas and come here to America, but I think that we're very lucky with social media that we're a lot more accessible to these trends quicker now. So yeah, 100%. I actually have a question for you guys in the audience. In the beginning, I was talking about what is luxury. What does luxury mean to you? I would love to hear if there's anyone that would be willing to share to me, and it doesn't have to be in design, it can be in design, what I'm curious, what does luxury mean to you? Because I'm really curious how different it spans amongst the audience alone. So does anybody want to tell me
Anyone
what
want to share?
luxury means to you?
Oh, okay.
Hi, guys. Ooh, that's loud.
Hey.
I definitely prioritize comfort and security in my luxury style, so.
Those are great. Sometimes we don't think about security as luxury, right? But
right.
it is.
For me, it's like more a coming home after a stressful day and being able to unwind and relax and find that sanctuary.
So then let me ask you this before you give the mic back. What would you need as in terms of design to give you that?
I need the flow. Like you come into the home and you feel quiet. You feel like there is a guiding line, a red thread that leads you to where your anchor is. Like, is it meditation? Is it your sense zone? Is it like a picture that you see that like reminds you about your childhood? Is it a smell? It could be anything like that.
Wonderful.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. You know what I need? A bar.
A nice cocktail.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Hey y'all, thank you for being here and speaking with us and for asking us this question. So with my clients, I feel like the luxurious aspect that a designer can bring in is being able to close or open up spaces more or less than how they are at like their static level. So, you know, we were so open for so long in floor plans and we're starting to close down a little bit more, but I think the flexibility is the luxury, right? Like, can we install something that's allowing spaces to either become bigger or smaller? Because we all need those away spaces. We can't be together all the time, as we all learned in the last few years.
Right. Thank you.
I think that's a good point. And yesterday during the Design 10 competition, there was somebody that was talking about the doors that sort of blend into the walls or over the cabinets so you can hide your appliances. And I think you're spot on with that because it was open floor plans like crazy. And then all of a sudden it's starting to be a little bit more intimate and closed. So yeah, I think you're really spot on. To have that flexibility is a luxury, right? So that's great. Anyone else? Yeah. I love this, by the way.
Yeah, that's great.
What you said earlier about sparking joy, I think is really great because I think especially after COVID, people want a sanctuary and to be able to go home and feel like I'm safe. This is a place where I love to be. And I think especially, you know, as our culture is more towards like entertaining and having people over at your house, and we have teenagers and they all want to be home. And so it's really cool that we can curate this space where they feel like they want their friends to come over and they want to be instead of being out. And I think that that perpetuates this next generation of people that are investing in their home life that is makes it more special instead of thinking, you know, this is just a place where I sleep. It's a place where I live and I get recharged and re-energized, and also where I want other people to experience that when they come to our house. You know, like what are they seeing? What memories are they seeing in our home and furniture and things like that are special to us? And I think that our generation really craves that individuality, but also to have that in their homes. So I think that's really special.
You know, it's funny when you look up selective luxury, it's going to say something like a Gucci bag, a Range Rover, you know, something that they make limited a number of so that the price goes higher. But what every person right now so far has spoken about luxury has nothing to do with that, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And I think that sparking joy is so key because, you know, people think I have to like this or I have to like that, but it doesn't spark joy in you. You're just doing it because you feel like you have to. So I think that's always to me, I love that phrase. So
Right.
I think you have one more question and then we'll wrap up.
Oh, I don't want to.
I know. I want to sit down all day, right?
You'll be up here all day.
Hi. I think it's about being authentic.
Oh, can you talk a little bit more? Yeah.
I think it's, there we go. I think it's about being authentic authenticity,
Yep.
being authentic to yourself, and being authentic to the space. The space is speaking to you.
Yes.
The house, the history, the architecture. So being authentic rather than just going with a trend or just modernizing to modernize blindly, but being very authentic.
We're so lucky that we have so many options now,
Yeah.
right? To create a design that speaks to your authenticity, which is so cool. To customize a wallpaper that is literally one of a kind, that speaks to your design aesthetic and makes you happy and does all the things. Like, we're in a world right now where we can do any, am I allowed to swear?
Go for it.
Anything you want to do, right? So I think that's the beauty of where we are today.
Excellent.
Sorry, I have like been talking.
No,
the whole
you're
time.
good.
Yeah.
I love it. I love listening to you. So thank you.
And on that note, we'll end it. But so thank you so much to my panelists, Amber and Tanya, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hope you have a great day at the
Thank
show.
you guys.
Thank you. Enjoy the show, and thank
Yeah.
you, Ferguson. Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah.
Amber, thank you.
Thank you.